row at a primetime Los Angeles Lakers game, and you just gave Kobe Bryant a high five and wished him luck before the game started, knowing he didn't need it? Or how about hanging out on the sidelines at the Indianapolis Colts game and watching Peyton Manning throw a bomb to Reggie Wayne for another exciting touchdown? Today's guest will talk about how he's found a passion for sports and how he plans to begin a career in sports broadcasting. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at Newark Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Diane Bosco, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring you a program with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they are planning to give you, and a chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a person who found a love for sports at a young age. He enjoys playing them and watching them, and after completing high school, he decided to focus on becoming a sports broadcast. Now, I would like for you to meet our guest today, Joe Flores.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you. So we know that you have a love for sports and you're interested in broadcasting. Can you please tell us how you plan to get involved with the broadcasting?
Absolutely. Well, I was first introduced to sports in the 7th grade when I decided to play football for the Clunan Bulldogs. I honestly didn't understand the entire concept of the game until after my 8th grade season, where we actually had a chance to win the championship, and we fell short, and we came in 2nd place. Shortly after that, I became an Indianapolis Colts fan because I had seen what Peyton Manning could do to a defense, and I just absolutely fell in love with the way this guy plays the game. He literally has what it takes to put a team on his back and win a game. I mean, it does help that he's got some pretty impressive receivers. However, I just feel that Peyton Manning is arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game today. So I was definitely a football fan, but shortly after I really got into basketball. I actually started watching Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers at a young age. I just saw how explosive and dynamic Kobe was capable of being, and it was something that most people thought we wouldn't get to see for a while after Michael Jordan had retired, but luckily the NBA's talent, at least for me, it hasn't disappointed at all. It's definitely been an exciting season thus far. Kobe's got a pretty impressive resume, a 5-time NBA champion, back-to-back finals MVP. I was fortunate enough to having a loving father who took me to a Los Angeles Lakers game for my 14th birthday. It was without a doubt one of the most exciting weekends of my life that I was fortunate enough to experience. I told myself that I would definitely want to come back to Los Angeles one day, and this time maybe more than just a spectator, maybe somebody who could actually be part of the production crew, or honestly in any kind of job that would definitely be involved in broadcasting. I'd definitely like to get involved in that.
Joe, can you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
Well, I just figured that this course would probably be the the first step into beginning my broadcasting career. I thought that joining this course, I'd learn the skills that I'd need to start broadcasting, and it honestly hasn't disappointed. It's taught me more than enough in just the first course.
Okay. So what are some of the most useful things you've learned in the television production course?
Well, I mean, we pretty much got a real good understanding on how to run an entire TV show. And honestly, at first I thought it would be impossible to ever do so, but it was definitely a great learning experience. I learned that just like sports, a production crew really has to be a team. You know, you have to, everyone has to be on the same page. Just how the teams are and the pros, they're all on the same page. They work together, and it's pretty much the same concept in TV production.
Can you tell us about the production you created in the TV1 class? The Sequence Project, Learning Project, Orange Project, and the New England Seasonal Project, please.
Absolutely, Diane. Well, first I'll get into our Learning Project, which was our first assignment. The Learning Project was very helpful in being that I was such a rookie with handling cameras. I learned how to take a number of different shots, such as established shots, long shots, extreme long shots, medium shots, and close-up shots. I didn't actually think that any of the shots I took for this project were good, but luckily for me, it was only a learning project, so the objective was to learn how to take these shots. And overall, I think I did a great job with it. Next was my action sequence. The action sequence was the first project that we were really able to get a little creative with. This one also was the first project that really allowed me to get a feel for what editing would be like. So I decided to have a friend of mine enter his kitchen and simply pour himself some iced tea to drink. And I really need to thank my good friend Byram and his family for allowing me to come into their home and shooting this project there. So thank you guys. Next was my New England project, where I actually focused on a New England spring. For this project, I was able to add music and titles, and I got a better understanding on how to put an entire project together myself. With this project, I was able to make it seem like I knew what I was doing because I used a simple camera technique that I had learned, such as simplifying the scene and learning how to find the lines of grace. Last but certainly not least was my Orange project. For this project, a good friend of mine, Kenny Prada, had to decide whether he was going to have a pear or an orange for breakfast. He ends up with the pear, and the orange eventually feels ignored and seeks out revenge on Kenny. But if you get a chance to watch the Orange project, Diana, please feel free to check it out. I'm sure that it's definitely going to give you a laugh or two.
Now, I know you have one project that happens to be your best. Can you tell us about it while we listen to a sample of the music?
Absolutely. My best project is probably my Orange project. And again, I really need to thank Kenny for taking the time to help me shoot the entire project. I definitely had the most fun with this one, and I really tried to think outside the box. I did most of the editing. I did a lot of the editing with this project, and luckily for me, Kenny was patient enough and talented enough to allow me to get multiple angles and heights for my shots. I thought overall we did a pretty good job, and I thought it brought out the best in my editing that I had done thus far. Let's listen in for a moment.
You mentioned a variety of things you've learned in this course. What have been some of the most interesting and important skills that you learned, and how will you put them to use?
Well, honestly, I feel that the whole hands-on experience was absolutely amazing. I mean, the fact that we get to come out here and really check out what a TV studio looks like, and you know, for most people haven't seen what that looks like, you get a better understanding of it. It was clearly the right move for me to make, and jump-starting my broadcasting career. Going back, you know, into my sophomore year of high school, I wouldn't have known what I wanted to do, and shortly after, you know, I found out about this program, and I just totally had to take advantage of it. With NCC being so local and everything, it was definitely a great opportunity for me.
It's wonderful. Today we got to meet someone who has had a strong passion for sports and will continue to do so. He hopes to pursue a career in the post-production side of national sports and hopefully one day even be a broadcaster. I would like to thank Joe Flores for joining us today.
Thank you, Diane, for having me.
Thank you, Joe. We would like to thank Joe Flores for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed meeting some of television's future productions. Thank you and good day. Who did that?
This has been The New Directors with your host, Diane Bosco, directed by Paula Lopez. I'm your announcer, Lauren Giannetti.